Okay, so once you guys have your value scales and your practice eyes done in both graphite and charcoal, and you've had that marked off and checked by me, and you have your drawing finished on your self-portrait project, again, it needs to be checked off by me before you start, then you're ready to actually start shading. Now, obviously, what I have in front of here is my demonstration piece, so it's not finished. But I'm going to talk to you guys about how to start shading this and the procedure that we're going to go through to do this, okay? If you're right-handed, which I am, you're going to need to start over on the left side. If you're left-handed, you need to start over on the right side. And that's just purely for the fact that because I'm right-handed, I want to be able to work from left to right so that I'm not dragging my hand across layers of pencil or charcoal. Same thing would be said if you're left-handed, you want to start over on the right. So again, you're not dragging your hand on top of layers and layers of graphite, pencil, and charcoal. Okay? So with that being said, where are we going to start? Everybody's going to start at the top, and we're going to basically work our way down. All right? So what you're going to do, we're going to try and shoot for, our goal is to get 2 rows shaded in every block day. Okay? So we're going to do 2 rows every block day. So what you're going to do, I would highly recommend that you block off your photo, okay, with that small blocker, but you do not use the blocker on your actual drawing. And the reason why I say don't use the blocker on the drawing is because what happens sometimes is if we do block this off and we just shade in these 4 boxes, we tend to get these sort of borders around here, and you see the grid after the project is even finished. Our goal is not to see this grid when we're finished shading, okay? So how do we prevent that from happening? So what I would suggest that you do, okay, if I'm right-handed, I'm going to start with these 4 boxes first. So I work 4 boxes at a time. I've got it blocked off over here on my photo. The first step I'm going to do, I'm going to erase my grid lines, okay? I want to erase those before I start shading, because if I don't, and you can see, this is going to be pretty much just black. Believe it or not, I would still see those pencil lines would shine through those layers of charcoal or graphite, whatever I would use, okay? So the first step, which is the most important one probably, is to erase your grid lines first. Don't erase your drawing, just erase your grid lines. So I'm just going to erase those grid lines for these first 4 boxes. I would shade that in exactly how I see it right here, which is, for me, pretty black. After I get that done, then I can move on to the next one, okay? And I would start off the same way. Erase my grid lines first, not my drawing, start shading it in. Now, again, like I said, the goal here is that we do not see our grid lines when we're finished shading this. So you do need to make sure, and this is why I love these blockers, is that when you are, so for example, when I'm shading this area right in here, and I'm getting ready to move here, I can move this blocker out of the way, and I can see what's coming up next, and I can kind of work over this border. Again, I would erase it first, and I could work over that so that I blend each quad into the other, because I don't want to see these edges, okay? So, first step, erase your grid lines, not your drawing, shade it in, blend it into the next boxes, and then, again, erase the grid, shade those, okay? So again, your goal is to get 2 rows finished up here, your first 2 rows at the top finished by the first block day. Now today is not a full block day, so basically by the end of our next class you should have these first 2 rows done, and then the next class that we come in, we're going to work on 3 and 4. All right? So that's how you're going to proceed. Again, I'm going to go over again when to use that white color pencil or the white charcoal, because I do think a lot of people overuse those. The only time you are going to use your white charcoal or your white color pencil is when you need a value that's lighter than this paper. And if you're not sure, what you can do is, like, I can look at this area right here and be like, I don't know if that matches the gray or if it's lighter. Kind of fold your paper and just put it right up against the gray paper that you're working on and compare it. If it is indeed lighter, then you know you do need to use a little bit of white colored pencil or white charcoal. Okay? Anything darker than the paper, you're going to be using your pencils or charcoal for. And anything lighter, you're going to be using the white colored pencil or white charcoal. Anything that matches, you can leave the color of the gray paper, okay? Which is not as much as what you might think. So there's not going to be much of the paper actually left, okay? And if you like the way that I shaded in, if that procedure worked well for that practice graphite eye that we did, I do like starting with my darks first. I do find that they help me sort of map out the shapes that I'm dealing with at that time. And then the last thing that I do is I do the lighter parts. So I work from darkest to lightest on something like this. So totally up to you. There's more than one way to do it, but if you're looking for advice, that would be my advice. Try it and then modify it to fit what works best for you. So there you go. Good luck.